I'm back. Some of you may remember, some of you may not. Maybe 6, 7 years ago when I started vlogging, and it was called Sickle Cell Diaries. And a couple of sicklers told me that I inspired them to start up their YouTube. And so now they're the ones that have inspired me to start it back up again. But this time I'm not alone. I will be doing it with my bubbies and our kids, and we will basically just be vlogging our day to day as a chronically ill couple raising kids. So take a minute, check out our intro. Welcome to Our Chronic Love. I'm Leah.
And I'm Dante.
And this is basically our introduction video for our channel. So we decided to start a YouTube channel, basically a vlog channel, to capture our lives, basically as we try to navigate through life as a chronically ill couple with children. We've been talking about doing this for about over a year now. So we finally decided the new year has started. Let's get it done. So no more procrastination. Bless you. No more procrastination. Here we are. So as I said, I am Talia, but I go by Leah. I'm 31 years young, and I have a disease called sickle cell anemia, or sickle cell disease.
And I am Dante. I have a chronic illness known as kidney failure, or some may know it as renal failure. I also have low-level vision. The reason in mostly all these videos you will see me wearing these glasses. At one point I did suffer from diabetes, and I overcame that, and I will talk about that at a later date.
Definitely.
How and when and why, and how that disease caused the other complications that I have, also including high blood pressure. And I am 33 years old currently.
So, basically what it means to have sickle cell. Sickle cell is a genetic disease, so it's not contagious. It is not something that develops over time. It is something you have to be born with. It's a blood disease. It's basically where my blood cells, instead of just being round and soft like most people's, I also have blood cells that are shaped like bananas or sickled shaped, and they're hard and sticky, and they get stuck in my veins or blood vessels. They cause like a traffic jam, I like to call it, and it usually causes a crisis in that area. So in addition to excruciating pain, probably the worst pain you could ever imagine, you probably couldn't even imagine it. That's pretty much what the disease is mainly about, is pain. But in addition to having a pain episode or a crisis, I can have that a crisis in my organs as well. Basically anywhere in my body that there's blood, I can have a pain crisis. And so that also causes organ damage in my body. So pretty much I have my spleen removed, my appendix, and my gallbladder. So yeah, that's just a little bit about sickle cell. I got it from my parents. Both of my parents had sickle cell trait. So they were both carriers. They both carried the sickle cell gene, and the sickle cell trait is an A gene and an S gene. The S being the sickle cell gene. and they both passed me along an S, unfortunately. So, yeah, so I have the disease, and I have a very, very old video explaining, going in detail, more in detail about sickle cell. If you want to check that out, it's probably one of the first videos I have ever uploaded. This was my channel before I made it our joint channel, so there are old videos from me on there. But yeah, so I have the disease, and that pretty much means I have two S genes. It could mean SS is not the only type of sickle cell there is. There's sickle cell beta thalassemia. There's sickle cell SC. I have SS. So I can only pass on an S to my children. And so basically it would be ideal for me to have children with someone without the gene, two A's, so that since I can only pass on an S, if he passes on an A, all of my kids will have the trait. So we'll also go into that on a later date, but both of my children do have the trait. I have an 11-year-old son from my first marriage. His name is Zion. Come here, Zion. Say hello to the people.
Hola.
I don't even think they can see you.
Hello.
So this is our 11-year-old boy, Zion. And as you can see, Miss Lyric is sitting here with us. She is Dante and my daughter. She'll be 8 months. Tomorrow, yeah. She'll be 8 months tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Time has flown. My gosh. But anyway, so yeah. So our kids you're going to see our kids on our channel. But yeah, so that's pretty much my get down. I have sickle cell. I have depression. Most people with chronic illnesses do have depression. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, it's very common if you have a chronic illness to have depression. Mm-hmm. So I have depression, and most recently I now have anxiety, and I'll talk about that at a later date as well. And I have chronic fatigue. Chronic fatigue is not just being tired. I can barely move sometimes. It actually hurts to be so lethargic, and it's not sleepy, but just worn out that your body actually hurts. So that's my illness rundown.
Mine began with juvenile diabetes. I was officially diagnosed when I was 14 years old. I had symptoms of it a couple of years prior. So basically the combination of my juvenile diabetes and high blood pressure is what caused my kidney disease, with kidney failure, or it's also known as CKD, chronic kidney disease. I do dialysis 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at my treatment center. I have a fistula in my arm. That's where you see these big swollen area, where I get 2 large needles poked into my arm, and a machine does what my kidneys are supposed to do, which is basically filters out all the toxins in the blood. So I do that 3 times a week for 3 hours and 45 minutes. On those days, I'm extremely tired, extremely drained. It usually takes me a full 24 hours to recover. I go first shift, which begins at 3:30 in the morning. So my day starts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2:45 in the morning. And I'm usually done around 8 a.m. and back home around 8:30 a.m. Like I said, those days I'm completely wiped out, and by the time it's time to do it all again, I'm just recovering from the last treatment. So pretty much I'm always tired. I wouldn't say I suffer from chronic fatigue necessarily, but I am always tired from the procedure, from the complications of the treatment. It definitely does affect my lifestyle. I'm not always able to accomplish and do things that I want to do, but we have children, so that's not always an option. The diabetes was a result of just eating bad as a child, eating a lot of processed and sugary foods as a child, over consuming, overeating, and inevitably it turned into juvenile diabetes, which I had as an adult and I overcame in 2012. Like I said, we'll get into greater detail about that in a later video. The diabetes also caused me to have eye disease, which caused me to have a detached retina, and I had some other procedures where there were bleeding in my eye, and that turned into a cataract, and I'll get into more details on that later as well. So yeah, that pretty much is the brief rundown of what my disease entails.
So what does our day-to-day look like?
Well, my day-to-day...
You kind of got into it. I mean, basically...
Yeah, my Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays start at 2:45 a.m. I usually don't go to bed till 12, so I get maybe a couple hours of sleep on those nights, depending on how she feels.
Oh, yeah.
I'll come home, I'll have breakfast, I'll take a nap till Zion gets home from school. We'll get up, we'll run errands, or maybe some days watch TV if there's nothing to do, which is rarely. We'll run errands, do what the kids need to have done, take care of the household, chores, grocery store, cleaning up, picking up prescriptions, getting materials for school projects, going to get diapers, baby wipes, etc., etc.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are my days to cook. Because I am so wiped out and tired on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Talia generally does the cooking. Fridays, we have designated our eating out day, even though we give or take eat out a couple more times than that because of the fatigue that we both have.
Yeah.
And
definitely, we eat out more than we would like to.
Yeah.
Because some days it's just like, this is not happening today. Like,
just part of our reality.
Yeah, that's just our reality. Standing up, cooking in the kitchen is just not at all what your body feels like doing. And it's just like, we're just gonna have to order something tonight. So yeah, that's pretty much what our day-to-day looks like. And you know, it can be kind of depressing for me because it's like I want to do more, or some days I would like to do more than I'm actually able to do, you know, and unfortunately I have to listen to my body, or I'm going to end up in the hospital and away from my kids and away from my family, and you know, that's not where I want to be. So it's like I have to listen to my body, do what my body's telling me to do, and not force myself to overdo it. But it's like, you know, of course you have those days where it's like, you know,
things have to get done.
Yeah. So how did we meet? Alright, so that was part 1. So stay tuned for part 2, where we will talk about how we met and what you can expect from our channel. And don't forget to subscribe.